between your accounts is easy. Cash moved to your brokerage account is available in seconds. That means you can stop waiting and start investing in stocks, bonds, money market funds, and more. Get more with Schwab Bank Investor Checking, the checking account built for investors.
It's time to look forward.
Find the next trend.
From every click to every tick.
There's no fear of missing out on Next Gen Investing.
Available anytime, anywhere, on any device for free. Empower your portfolio with the Schwab Network. He's Alex Coffey. I'm Jenny Horn. Join us for Next Gen Investing.
1 p.m. Eastern, only on the Blwab Network.
Welcome to Schwab Network.
Daily live exclusive content tailored to today's investors.
Broadcasting 24/7 from our studios in Chicago.
And from the heart of Wall Street at the New York Stock Exchange.
Up-to-the-minute market insights.
Example trades and stock-specific analysis featuring the smartest minds in the business.
No politics,
No noise.
analysis ahead of the biggest events for the economy.
From bell to bell and beyond.
Watch live
And on demand.
24/7, 7 days a week on schwabnetwork.com.
And on all your favorite streaming services.
Available anytime, anywhere.
On any device for free.
Schwab Network, empowering every investor and trader.
Every market day.
Binge watch the market with Schwab Network. Tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on schwabnetwork.com and on all of your favorite streaming services. Schwab Network available anytime, anywhere, on any device for free. Schwab Network.
Traders, and welcome to Fast Market here on the Schwab Network. I'm Tom White. We've got a great lineup for you today, including discussions and option strategies and some tech names. AMD, which is down on the NVIDIA chip release, is off 20% from its recent all-time high. And Microsoft, which is up about 54% over the last year, is just below record highs. And likewise, we'll break down consumer sentiment data on discount retailer Five Below, which is under pressure so far in 2024. And they report earnings after tomorrow's close. Now let's take a look at the four major indices, which are off a session lows. We've got mixed markets here now. S&P 500 just peaked into positive territory. Dow Jones Industrial Average, led by these blue chips, up over 200 points. NASDAQ 100 lagging, led by losses in NVIDIA, down 0.4%. Russell 2000 up 0.2%. To help me break down this market action, let's bring in my co-host, and that's Kevin Hinks. Kevin, seems like a rotation trade today. I was looking through the 11 S&P 500 sectors.
It's the exact same thing.
Energy, utilities, consumer discretionary, financial, and then on the downside, communication services, information technology. So it doesn't seem like anybody's really getting out of the market. They're just kind of rotating today.
Right, and look at the biggest percentage mover in the S&P 500, energy. Not surprising. You got crude oil.
83 bucks?
Almost 83, yeah, 83 bucks.
Yeah.
So not really surprising. That's a breakout. That's not good for the lower inflation narrative. But all things considered, the market is absorbing the NVIDIA day pretty well. For NVIDIA's down a couple percent, 1.8%, and the market has pretty much shook it off. That's surprising and impressive in a way. I think the yen dollar is significant, because if that starts to flip like it's done the last 5-6 days, that could take the dollar, higher. That could start a run here for the U.S. dollar. Market's got to watch that. Fed, NVIDIA's now past us. That's in the rearview mirror. It's all about the Fed now, and I think it's all about the Fed and it's all about the plots.
Yep, crude oil you mentioned just below over 4-month highs there for crude, $83 a barrel. So definitely not helping that, as Kevin said, the narrative that people think inflation is still trending lower, because we know the opposite is true.
Yes.
It might be re-accelerating at this point. But the big story of the day, NVIDIA, Kevin mentioned, off nearly 2% on the day. Let's bring in Jenny Horn, market correspondent here on the network, to help us break this down. Jenny, one of the things that stuck out to me was all the partnerships they kind of announced between the other big tech players. It kind of relates to the partnership that you need to have with NVIDIA moving forward if you have any AI narrative, right?
Exactly, Tom. I was frankly astounded at the fact that they're already implementing so many of their technologies in some of the largest cloud companies like Azure from Microsoft and Alphabet and Amazon AWS is mentioned a lot, as well as Oracle. So all of these major cloud companies are utilizing their architecture, which is Hopper, and they said they need to go even beyond that on their keynote address at GTC. So they introduced the next gen of these GPUs, the Blackwell, the B100s and B200 GPUs with chips that are 2 times the size of the competitor being the H100. They announced a 40% higher pricing for that Blackwell GPU architecture relative to its previous iteration, the H100, that was priced at around $35,000. So these aren't cheap, which actually their CEO did make note of how costly this technology has just become based on their various supply chain costs and also the advancement of the technology. They also said the expectation of AI performance of the B100 they expect to be about 2.5 to 5 times greater than the H100, as well as they did unveil this next generation super chip, that's the GB200. That's the successor of the GH200. So overall, I'd say there was a lot to be excited about. I think the partnerships are something that really stuck out to me, as well as the fact that they did announce this new product named NIM, or that stands for NVIDIA Inference Microservice. That's a software subscription that's designed to teach these customers that are already utilizing NVIDIA to continue to use NVIDIA. So I think that only continues to show its overall dominance, but it does make some of these older NVIDIA GPUs for inference now be able to use AI software, although not fully as capable as some of their newer chips, of course being Blackwell. I think that they have nothing but positive things to say. They see overall fantastic results already. They need more and more right now capabilities, and they say they have the power to do so. So I feel like supply chain is the next major part of this story of like how they're able to continue to sort of rethink the overall supply chain to make this capacity really for these new chips. But I think the street was largely expecting everything we heard. I didn't see any major shocks, which I think is leading to some of the selling today.
Jenny, this was a Steve Jobs Apple-like presentation, and frankly, the stock is reacting like a Steve Jobs Apple-like presentation. You used to run up into it and then be a little soft after the presentation. But this is a flesh wound. For a company that's up, I can see it on my board, 236% in the last year. This is not even a sell-off, this is a consolidation, Jen.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think that initially when we were down about 2%, people were like, was this conference bad? Was the keynote not good enough? No, not at all. I think we're seeing exactly what you just said. Anytime Apple, even still to this day, has one of their conferences and they unveil their iPhone or the watches or the AirPods, we don't really see any market reaction at all, at least in the last several years. So I think when you go in with expectations, I think you're pretty hard pressed to find major surprises from companies that are as massive and as already sort of integrated into the overall technology world. You're not going to see massive surprises. I mean, like we're just not there yet. So I think it's perhaps okay that we had our expectations set correctly. Wasn't disappointing. I see nothing actually but analysts raising their price target. Goldman, Wells, Susquehanna were a few. I mean, the average price target right now among analysts is $9.14, so that would imply some nice upside, pretty much right around, I believe, their all-time highs. But there's still price targets of like $1,100, $1,200 a share. The analysts are reiterating today, so nothing negative as far as even analyst coverage I could see.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see this thing positive by the end of the day.
Right.
If this trend continues. But Jenny, real quick here, one of the things I think that people were looking